All right, Guy. I was on your website.
You were
the other day. This is true, and this is why we added this segment. I was snooping all over AttorneySync.com.
But we're on WordPress and Cloudflare, so you couldn't get in.
It's now written in. No, it's now. It's not. It's all Greek.
Speaking of Viagra, Joe, I don't know why you mentioned the Viagra thing. That's your segment. We'll get there.
We'll get to the Viagra joke. Maybe I can't. That Viagra joke was preemptive. Anyway, I was on your website the other day, and I noticed that you've got a really aggressive pop-up.
Many.
And I find them annoying.
Me too.
And I wanted to know why you are deliberately annoying your website visitors.
Well,
how was that for us?
For years, I was anti all pop-ups. I was anti chatbots. I was anti modals. And I'm still anti, the modals that block out the entire experience. I'm still not huge on those, especially on mobile, because as we know, that's a no-no from Google. But I got to tell you, the data shows that, we actually had better conversion. We get more people to sign up for our tips list. We get more people to reach out to contact us for free consultations. We get more people to schedule Calendlies with those pop-ups on there. And the one that we are in the process of testing right now that I'm in love with is called Leadferno. And Leadferno, they're going all in on text. So if you go to AttorneySync, you'll see there's a little thing at the bottom, contact. If you click that, one of the options there is text. And when you think about it, how many of these websites you can't text? Everybody's texting all day, every day. That's the most convenient way. Everybody's talking about how they won't answer the phone, but they'll send you a text. And I think this is going to be a huge part of the acquisition funnel. It integrates with Facebook messaging app. It's going to integrate with Google Business Profiles messaging. I think unifying a messaging solution that also handles SMS text is not just the future, but also the present.
So one of the things we talked about specifically with texting and legal, I mean, it's great for you. You run an agency, Merry Christmas, but you're not running a law firm, right? And so what kind of issues come up? I mean, let me not say, we all know what the issues that come up with texting and legal. How do you, as a law firm, minimize those issues? Or is that something that law firms should be, really worried about and stay away from that technology because you never know what's going to happen with your law license? Yeah,
I mean, look, you got to navigate these issues. Security is important. You should be vetting all of your technology and communication partners. You should be, vetting your email and all this stuff. But we know the gold standard. The gold standard is end-to-end encryption, right? So something like Leadferno, though, the thing that I like about it is like you don't have texts floating all over the place with different staff members on different phones. And in fact, that's another big thing of this whole texting thing is lawyers are hearing that and they're like, that's nuts. You're going to give out your cell phone number to all of your clients
the next
to text
question.
You every second. It's like, no, that's why a tool like Leadferno comes in to unify. They become the communication platform for the text. So you're not even showing your cell phone number. It would show up as like a contact record. You could set it up so it'd be like so-and-so such law firm is actually the contact record that shows up when the texting is going on, not your cell phone.
Okay. This is going to come across as a pitch for Leadferno, but I
know. And again, you can go look. You can go vet other options. There's a lot of other options out there. I just the folks at Leadferno are doing some really cool stuff. I think their widget's pretty cool. The interface, they've got things that you can set up so like you have similar to like how Slack, you can have, I don't remember what they're called, like slash commands, I guess, where you can be like, it'll give you an automated response based on the slash commands. So you can be like a greeting slash command. And you can also, it doesn't have to just be text, right? So you can link your other conversion apps to it, like Calendly, or send them to a web form page. Click to call on a phone number.
All right,
integrates with CallRail.
Conversion.
Integrates with CallRail.
All right. I was just going to ask conversion tracking with text. That sounds like it could be problematic, but no.
No, they actually handle that. They actually have a nice funnel report in there too, so you can actually see all. It's got a Google Analytics integration, and so you can see the number of times that the lead box was shown. You can see the number of times it was engaged with, and you can actually track qualified leads. You can assign leads. So anyway, for me again, this isn't, even though like you said, it's coming across the pitch for Leadferno. Text, these messaging platforms that are integrating across messaging platforms that include SMS text, they're worth researching. People want to engage like that. And it's a pain to have to,
okay, let me hit you some other problems, right? With texting. You just said it's a pain. I mean, you're setting a pretty high expectation of very, very fast turnaround and responsiveness with texting. Does that create a really problematic precedent when you actually go to servicing the client?
Yeah, I think it's about expectation setting. So to me, it's not the medium; it's the community, it's the substance of your text. And so another thing that Leadferno does, and many of these other platforms do, is you can set it up so that during certain hours of the day, it's set to you're away, and it'll send messaging or direct them to something else. So like, hey, not available to text right now. Would you like to schedule something? Boom, you can have a schedule something, or you can direct them to a lead form. So again, but that's if you think about it, that's no different than the phone, right? Because we know that people, we always talk about responsiveness on this show. But the issue is no one's suggesting that you as a lawyer need to be available 24/7 on your phone to answer all these calls. Well, the same thing's true of text, but setting the expectations of how you're going to communicate, giving people options, communicating when you're available or when you're going to follow up. It doesn't matter if it's text or a web form or some other autoresponder or a phone call. It's about the actual substance of your communication, not the platform, in my view. We should be working to reduce friction. Why would we be like? I mean, there's this conversation in this Facebook group the other day, and there's lawyers that are like, I'm on the phone with the contact, and the thing I tell them on the phone is, go to my website and fill out my form. Does that sound like a great experience to you?
Likewise, the expectation setting needs to be handled pretty carefully. I got an autoresponder from a lawyer the other day that was like, I will respond to my emails between 1 o'clock and 1:30 on every day, and you need to wait until then. Now I've set my you've now set the expectation that you're kind of
and I'll tell you another one that lawyers don't think about, and this actually it didn't become clear to me until I started a marketing agency that was emailing lawyers a lot more volume. We'll send out a campaign, and middle of the workday on like a Wednesday, and I'll get like 25% of the total send will be an autoresponder. And so all the autorespond messages pop up, and the autorespond messages are horrible. It's like they didn't spend a second thinking that this autoresponder is actually going to go out to somebody. And so again, same thing. Like you're like, oh, I got it handled with my autoresponder. No, you don't. You literally just told that person, go find another lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good point. The autoresponders, there's a setting expectations can be done the right way and the wrong way. And I do think a lot of those autoresponders, the way that your voicemail comes across, right, can basically set an expectation that you are an inflexible, uncaring pain in the ass.
You'd be better off turning off the autoresponder and just waiting until the next business day to email them back than being like, hey, autoresponder, go away, or autoresponder, call my secretary. No, and it never says that. You know what it says? In an emergency, this is who you can call. Well, it's not an emergency. I'm trying to hire you.
If this is important, please.
I just got arrested and I want to hire you. So I don't know. It's an emergency for me.
Yeah. Let's go back to that most important thing that people care about when they're hiring a lawyer: responsiveness. Right? That's come across study after study after study. Right. And okay, sorry.
Anyway, I think that's the thing I want to track.
Let me ask one other question.
I'm gonna get an answer to you, at least on the texting thing, to give you some numbers on the impact of conversion from text. That's what I am. Well, that's a foreshadow. Stay tuned. We'll talk about that again.
Stay tuned. Coming back to you at a next episode of Lunch Hour Legal Marketing. Let me ask one last question, because this is important with the texting. When we talk about these autoresponders, what do you think having a third party function as your human autoresponder when you're not available, good idea?
Yeah, I think it's fine. We're customers of Smith. Is it as good as me answering every call and email? Probably not. But guess what? I'm one person. A lot of solos and small firms. You're one person. Other people are, and here's the alternative. I'll tell you what these third party systems do a lot better than nobody. They do a lot better than voicemail. They do a lot better than infinite ring. They do a lot better than, autoresponder. So
I mean, I think set your expectation that those third parties are going to be a third party. It's not going to be as good as you. They will be a B+ at best, and
train them
a lot better than the F.
That's the other thing too. It's the same thing with the autoresponder, and this is the same thing with all these automations, or whether you're working with vendors. Tell them what you want. Shop yourself. Tell them how you want your phone to be answered or your text messages. Like, give them the script, and at the very least, the simple answer is, don't try to turn them into an intake conversion specialist. Try to get them to stop the search, set the expectation we can get a call back, get their name, email, phone number. That's the biggest one, because again, they don't have to qualify the lead for you. All they got to do is to tell, hey, got your message, tell you when that you're going to get back to them. That's the key.
My best practice on that is that I would love a small amount of lead qualification and integration with your calendar.
Sure.
So that person is not waiting for a callback. They have a callback scheduled with the firm. That's better. My favorite.
That is better.
Money makes